This is the starting point today. And well, first I'll show you what I did with this roof. Okay. I told you that we have to make up our minds and we have to decide what kind of roof we are using. I decided that I was going to use this roof with all these ribs here, and then I would create the roof itself. Well, this is a structure, and then I would create the roof with the thermal insulation and the waterproof layer. So first, I'm going to delete all this, because once I have decided what I want to do, I can just copy and small details. For example, there's something here that it's not great because this is not symmetrical. Well, this connection between the truss and all the beams is something weird. Well, apparently. Okay, so this is not very nice, so make sure that this doesn't happen. Okay, so make sure that this is symmetrical. There would be a connection between this and this. We can design that, but we won't do it in the 3D view because it's going to be very difficult, and then we have to do it thousands of times. So probably we have a call out, we can define this just once. Okay, but make sure that if you make this section, this doesn't happen. Make sure that both, probably I can select another one. Okay, so I'm going to copy this system, because in this system, yeah, this is correct. Okay, here and there. So I'm going to copy this. I can select all these elements. And once we are sure that these elements are well aligned, they are symmetrical, then we can copy. Okay, so we have copied the same beam system, and now we will. And now we make sure that all these roofs are the same. I don't mind. You can select whatever you feel like, but make sure that all the roofs are the same. Then we have to close this. Okay, so this now it's well, I'm going to get rid of the lights or the shadows. So you see that this is open now. We have to close it. There are different ways to do that. What I'm going to do is to copy one of the, I'm going to copy the truss, but before copying the truss, I want to work with that truss, because if you see section 1, you see that I have already fixed this. If you don't do this, the truss will be like this one. How would you fix this? What command do you use? Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was 2 weeks ago. Don't you remember that we use steel, and here we have this cope and miter? Well, there's a. We use this. I told you that by default in architecture, if you select this beam or this element, you can use this cope here. I told you that the other one is better, but sometimes this is easier. So if this one doesn't work, use this one. And if this one doesn't work, then use the other one. But first, if you select your truss, you can select just one of the pieces. Can you? You can't. That's because we have to edit the truss. So I'm going to work with level 0. So this is the section, and I'm going to copy this section here. And I'm going to open this section, and we don't see the truss. Interesting. Because we don't see the truss because there isn't any truss. Okay, so now in section 2, we do see the truss, but if you select this, you are selecting the truss. You are not selecting this. How can we do that? Well, that's dangerous because once we are editing the truss, we can't go back. So we can't make the truss again a single entity or a single unit. Okay, so we have to make sure when we have to make that decision. But on the other hand, now we have to think, we have to stop and we have to think, is it worth modifying this truss and then try to copy it? Or can I do it just once? Well, that depends on the kind of view that we are going to work with, okay? If in our interior views, because if we are working with this one, can we tell that these connections are perfect? Probably we can't, okay? But if we open the section, and probably if we work with this call out, this is call out 4. Okay, if we are working with this call out, here we can see. Okay, so we can see that this detail is good and this is not. So what do I want to say? If we are working with the call out, this has to be fixed. But if we are working with this view, it doesn't really matter. So fixing this takes a lot of time. Would you do this in every single, because you have to select and then you have to go one by one, element by element, fixing this connection. Is it worth it? Again, it depends. In this view, it's not worth it because we can't tell that this connection is perfect. In this call out, it is. We have to do this and probably we would have to do the same thing here, okay? So if you don't have anything better to do in your life, you can do it thousands of times. You can fix all the connections in all the trusses, and that's fine. If you have better things to do, just before starting doing this, think what kind of section you are going to show, and then you can do this only once or twice or 3 times. You don't have to do it hundreds of times. Okay? But this is up to you. It's up to your project. And sometimes we are working and we don't, we keep on working and we have a submission tomorrow or a deadline next week, and we don't think, we just work, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's better to, okay, relax, think about it, think about the documents you want to submit, and then think about how many angles or how many details you want to fix. Anyway, I'll show you how to fix it, and then it's up to you. So we are in section 2, and in section 2, the truss is just one element, and we can. So we have to remove truss family. Okay, so if we select the truss and we remove truss family, now we can select the elements independently. But it's not a truss anymore. Okay, so if we want to copy the truss, we have to be very careful because we have to select all the elements. Probably we can create a group. That would be a good strategy. And then we can copy this truss at different places. And this is something that we can do. Instead of creating a truss and then copy, create first the truss, fix it, and then copy a fixed truss. Okay, I'll show you. Anyway, we have to fix this. This is not acceptable because we have a void here. So if we select this one and we click cope, this one, so we can select the first, the second. Okay, it's not working because first we have to select the diagonal, and we have to extend it beyond this limit. Okay, so first we extend and then we trim. So select the element, cope, and I think first we have to select the element that we want to cut, this one, and second that one, and there you go. And now you have to select this one and that one. And here we have a perfect connection. There is always a gap between this, because when we are working with these steel elements, we have to add, we have to weld this, and welding things, that means that we are adding material here. So there is always a gap. Okay, so it's not, this gap can be something very tiny like that, because we have to add material, we have to heat it up and to weld it all around it. Okay, so that's why we have this gap between this and that. But anyway, this is the shape that we will end up having here. So we can select this again, cope, that one, and that one. And that, remember that first you have to extend. So select the material, don't extend this dot. Okay, so if we want to extend this, if we extend the dot, it's dangerous because we are changing the angle. We don't want that. So we have to extend this arrow, because with the arrow, we keep the same angle. So we can go up and down. And now we can use the cope. First this, second this one, first and second. Okay, a lot of fun, and you can do this 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 20 times. If I'm in section 1 and I'm working with this call out for, if I'm showing this, this, and this, I will do it here, here, and there. Okay, so in section 1, I want to select this one, I want to extend it, and now go first, second, first, second. And now this call out for, it's fine. So all the angles are fixed and are perfect. Now it looks nice. Yep. Okay, I'm good. Well, we have spent a few minutes of our lives working with this option. I think it's worth it. Okay, so make sure that the end of the truss is something like this. Extend this horizontal element up to the end of this, and make sure that this vertical element ends here. And here, well, here, thank God, things seems to be correct. On the 3D view, I have already copied this here. Remember that I have created a group. Okay, so now this is a group. If for some reason I need to change something because it's not fixed, I can always ungroup things. And now I can select the bars individually. But if we want to copy, once the truss is fixed and all the connections are correct, I think it's better working with a group. So remember that we have to go to the elevation. Be careful, make sure that we select just the things that we want to select, the elements that we want to select, and then create a group and, well, name it, and that's it, okay? And now the next time, all the group or all the truss will be, if you select this, you select the whole truss, and it's not a truss, it's a group. Okay, so it's not a truss because here we don't have a truss properties. We have created a group so that all the elements are there. Okay, so let's move on. Now I have closed this part here, and I have closed this. So I'm going to work with the rest of the roof, and I'm going to do this shape here. I want to create this this shape, and I want to extend this, and I want to create this channel. Okay, because in this roof, the water will look at the elevation. Yes, so this is what the water does. Okay, so we have water here, and it goes this way, and here we have a channel, and with this channel we get rid of the water. But we have to make sure that here we can connect these two elements. So I'm going to create this roof, and this roof has to be on the beam system. How can we do that? I think the best way to do that is working with roof by extrusion. So I can go to architecture, roof by extrusion, and then I have to pick the plane. So first I have to study this because I'm working in level 0. Yes, I'm working on grid F. Okay, so I'm working with a horizontal grid. It can be A, B, C, D, whatever, but let's work with grid F. So I'm here in the south elevation, roof by extrusion, select the plane grid F, select the level. What's the roof level? I think it's level 39, but make sure that the level, yeah, so we are working on that level, level 39. And now we can select this pick line. Okay, so if we pick line and we select the top of this curved beam, that would be my roof. But then when you create a roof by extrusion, you select the line and then the roof goes downwards. This is not what we want, because we want this. We want to create a roof that goes upwards. Okay. But we know that the width of this roof is 5 inches. So probably what we have to do is to create an offset. Here we have an offset. Select 5 inches here. And now we go 5 inches up. Now we have to get rid of this, of the original line. And we want to create the channel. Okay, so we have done this shape. So we have to create a horizontal line. Here. And now this, because I'm going to copy this roof, so I'm going to finish this horizontal line where the grid line is here. And I want to trim that. So I will use trim, this and that. And now I have to do the same thing here. Well, this is, look at this, look at what I did here. Okay, so we have to keep the water out. So if this roof is made of aluminum, aluminum is not affected by water. So what would I do to, because there is a gap. So when we have a curtain wall or when we have a double skin, we have a gap between the structure and the curtain wall itself. So if we didn't have anything there at the top, the water will be between these two elements. So I don't want that. I have to extend that roof and to do something like this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to extend this line, and we can do something like that, and then trim. Okay, so this is a structure. We don't have anything here. This is open. So next time, or the next thing we have to do is to close this. We will figure out what to do. But what I want is to protect whatever I do here. I want to protect it against the water. So with this roof by extrusion, I click OK, and now I have this shape with this roof, with this 5-inch sandwich panel. And I have to go to the 3D. And I can extend it. And I told you that it's good extending it beyond this. So I'm going to work with the right. Yeah, I want all the roofs to have the same distance. I extend this here. Okay, I'm creating this overhang, but the roof is well adapted to the beam system. It's just the roof is just on the beam system. And I have extended this because I have to do something here, and I have to I want to protect this against the water. When I'm done with this solution, I can always edit the profile, and if it's too long, I can make it shorter. Okay, but I don't know, because I don't know what I'm going to do here, and probably I will have to edit this profile and change it. Okay, I'm going to do it again with this. Remember that we're in the south elevation. We go to architecture, roof, by extrusion. Pick the plane, it was grid F. Okay, the level, it was level 31. Okay, and now I select this, pick lines. I select this line of this beam system or this beam. Click. Now I have to offset 5 inches up. Now I have to remove this one, delete. And now I have to create the horizontal part. So I create a line here, select horizontal line, trim this and this, another horizontal line from this point to that point here, trim. Okay, in this case, I don't have to extend anything because we have to go from this grid line to that grid line. I click OK, and it works. Now I select this 3D, and I have to assign the same length. So I drag this up to the. I can always use a line if I want to be accurate, but probably I have to use wireframe. Align. Go. Now everything's aligned. And with this one, I don't remember what I was doing. Okay, this. Extend and align. There you go. What is, this is a number. Okay, I'm going to do it the last time. South elevation. You can copy, okay, so you can select this and copy or mirror. You can always mirror. We do this, and that's it. Okay, but I'm going to do it once again. It was roof by extrusion. Select grid F, level 31 for the roof. Pick line, offset 5 inches up. Now delete the first line. Now horizontal, trim, another horizontal line, and trim. Okay, and there we go. And now extend. Let's select this 3D view, extend this, and now align. Okay, so now we have a roof. We have solved a lot of issues with the overhang. We protect this facade against the sun. And with this channel, we get rid of water in this direction.